Like I said, Ballad, when Ballad came in town, bro, he had some really good food. We had the oxtail. Oxtail had that earthy flavor to it. I didn't do super spicy because not everybody likes spicy. So I tried to keep it like, earthy and then savory type of vibe. But it was good. We did oxtail, we did the steak, and then we had some of that good. You all ever? Where you get your bacon from?
It's just a store.
Pig.
Nowhere.
Just a store. Pick up the street.
Shit's pork.
Yeah, but you know that shit. What? Huh? Man, I'll take a bite out of a pig's ass.
You remember the old heads you say, is a pig pussy pork? You remember what I'm saying?
It's a pig.
As your uncle used to say that shit?
But I'm gonna tell
never
you,
heard
your great uncle?
Well, I'm gonna tell you
I never
something.
heard it.
Can pigs fly?
Have you guys ever been to
Oh, word? That's funny.
Have you guys ever been to the thing like where they roast pigs?
No.
a pig roast?
Yeah.
A whole pig?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done it. Actually.
I haven't did it.
And I'm gonna tell you something. Every single part of it tastes like bacon.
I bet it do.
I mean, you can take a bite of his nose. It tastes like bacon.
Damn, I never did know.
Sort of like bacon. Yeah, it's ham,
I don't
bacon.
eat all that.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't eat pork?
He don't do the swine.
Hey, yo, shout out to Ballad.
He don't eat
I
the
do.
swine.
He said,
I'll
hey,
eat some bacon. That's
my-
fine. But
my
I
pores are
don't
clean.
need. I don't.
But you know what?
I don't need all these other parts.
But I'm gonna tell you what though.
I'm sorry.
Like when it got
I don't.
cooked, I was just like, this is so weird. And my buddy was like, just try it, dude. Like every part of it tastes like bacon. I
Wait,
said,
the
shut
nose?
fuck
He
up.
told you to try the
The
nose?
nose, dog. Look,
He just said anything you do, just
Damn.
cut his face. It tastes like bacon.
I used to
Man,
work in the
that's
buffet
crazy.
where we would
At least it's-
roast that pig, right? And we'd have it out on the cutting board.
Yeah.
We do like a pig pulled pork.
Yep.
Put that mug back in it, and then we slice off whatever. You know what
Yep.
I mean? They would fight for that nose.
The nose? That's
The
the thing?
customer would fight, be like, "I want the pig nose." Like I would
What?
have a couple people like arguing over it.
The nose?
Man,
Yeah.
I
listen,
mean, I'm
man.
not surprised. I mean, people like
That's
pig's
Snoop.
feet.
That's Snoop, man.
But
Yeah.
pigs
People
put their
like
nose
keep
in
big
everything,
intestines.
bro.
It's called chitlins.
Yeah. Well, it's not that they
Well,
like.
you know,
I mean,
people got to do what they
Oh,
got to
people
do.
eat that shit, bro. I
I know,
can't
but,
stomach it because of the
that
smell.
That was,
Like I
that
go over
wasn't
our granny
by-
house.
by
My granny
choice
house
at
is smell like
first.
shit, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
"What in the world?"
Hey, listen. To everybody out there of the culture that understands what it is, you know what it is.
Chitlins.
You know what I'm saying? But I would say this. I would say this real quick. Bacon. If you go to Fresh Time, they have the best bacon.
No,
Okay, well I'm gonna get it there.
All
No,
right, we
I
going.
promise you. Look, we had it last time, right?
I don't remember.
Well, no, last time you was here, we had bacon. And like Cy was like, yo. He was like, where the hell did you get this bacon from, bro?
Vaguely familiar, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Steak.
Was it like smoke different? What is it like the
Nah, nah.
applewood?
It just it comes straight from the farm.
Applewood sounds
okay.
good.
Yeah,
But they got
that does.
applewood. They got applewood. It was apple. It probably was applewood because I normally get applewood.
You guys are bacon connoisseurs.
You know what I'm saying? We do
Yeah,
also.
applewood. Yo, they had this honey. They had this.
We in the Midwest, man.
Bro, come on,
Welcome
now.
to Missouri.
Hey, please, welcome them, please. They had this honey. It was like, I don't know how they had it. I got it this one time. I swear to you now. Asher was there when I got it because we cooked it, and I was like, yo, this tastes hella good. You know, you got applewood bacon. They had some honey bacon. I don't know what it was. It was like honey something, honey hickory, honey something, right?
Yeah.
The most fire bacon I ever had. I went up there to get it again. It was someone new. Like, fast forward, it was there. They was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
You see how straight his face was when he said the most fireest bacon I ever had. Like, he was tapped into the memory.
Hey,
like I'm being
yo.
for real.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it.
Hey,
They
bro.
banned it. He can't find it no more.
Hey man, no, look. They got a whole shadow conspiracy theory. You know what I'm saying? And like in the whole spot because when I went there, the lady was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you know what I'm talking about because I was here. She was like, yeah, I'm new.
Oh,
Are
fuck
you?
No.
that, didn't.
I'm like,
so
man.
am
That
I
bacon's
gonna let
only
her get
for
that
certain
bacon?
folks.
Nah,
That was a once in a lifetime bacon.
I'm fighting.
Yeah,
right?
text that to me.
You can't handle that bacon no more.
Hey, listen,
bro.
we're gonna have fresh time
bacon
bacon
not
at
for
our
you.
next cookout, man.
All right.
For everybody out there, we're gonna do a cookout and we're gonna have like a show. Maybe it'll be outside or upstairs, outside of this area right
It'll
here
be
in the
good.
studio. It'll be in the light. I won't put it like that. It won't be dark. It'll be in the
You
light.
got a nice little spot for a cookout, man.
Ooh, let's
do it.
Yeah.
Look, I'm down
He
to do
got fire
whatever.
pits over there and stuff. We should do it before it gets real too cold.
I'm down to do whatever.
And I have the things. I have the even when it's cold.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
things at the
little
club.
heaters and stuff.
You know the thing at the club. Those things.
Oh yeah.
Those big
Little
tree
heaters.
looking. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
the
about.
heaters.
Yeah.
Them things.
Yeah, the heaters.
That and fire pits.
big
Shout out to
heaters.
Ashley.
The big heaters.
Yeah, we need to go over there real talk.
Yeah, Thomas trying to get back over. He's like, hey man, invite me.
Thomas, you have
I just like to eat,
an
yo.
all the way welcome pass, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
Anytime.
I ain't get like this from not eating. You know what I mean? I eat.
Hey, let's go.
You know, let's
I
go.
got like this from eating too.
All right, so we back, y'all.
Shout out to my girl. You made me into a fucking well.
He said, oh well. All right, so we back, y'all. It's your boy Jay.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Ashley Booker.
Ta-da.
You gotta introduce
And we
me.
have a special guest here.
Right,
Come
right.
on,
Yeah,
Jay.
don't look at me
Bro,
like
come
I'm
on,
not
Jay.
straight.
Don't
It's
act
your
like this man
podcast.
regular.
Is
This ain't
this-
regular.
He's like, this ain't how it went the first
Bro.
time we introduced.
Right.
Is this segment?
You keep just
Prima
like
donna. Prima donna. Look, this is segment
calling
B.
audibles that I don't know.
Segment B, bro.
Ballad,
haven't
you
been
on
to
that
scrimmage.
uncut shit now. There ain't no
Come on,
script.
man.
Dang.
You know how you go to
Unscripted.
listen. You go to your family house. You come for the first time, you're a guest. You come for the second time, you a little bit of a
I mean,
guest.
this is
Come
still-
for the
this
third
is still
time,
my
bro.
first time.
You ain't no guest.
Yeah.
Second
Yeah,
time, you ain't no
buddy.
guest.
Still my
man.
first time, but I go by the name of Ballad.
Yo, shout out Ballad.
Let's
You
go,
washing
man.
your own dishes on the third time. though.
Hey, facts.
Put your shit in the
Hey,
dishwasher
facts.
yourself.
Hey, second time you getting your own drinks though.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
real.
I don't know what the cups are.
No, but seriously, welcome to the show. We back, y'all. If you're tuning in, this is Music Around, and this is the second segment. We're gonna jump straight into it, or the first. Who knows? What do you want to talk about? We left off at a really interesting point. Ballad said. He said, "Could you become a billionaire? Could you become a billionaire and still be what?
Ethical.
Ethical? Ooh,
An ethical billionaire.
Let's try to think of one that is. You know what I'm saying?
wait.
I bet you can't name one.
We can, huh?
Name a billionaire that's ethical.
I bet
Like,
you
well,
can't name
how? Okay,
How will we know, guys?
how are we
to
defining
be
ethical?
completely transparent, how will we know?
Facts.
We talking business ethics?
No facts.
We are making speculation.
Or
No,
ethics like
Hey,
humanity?
Ash, look, man.
Wait.
We came back, baby.
Speculation, yeah, sure, but there's some things that we know. Like for instance, the latest thing was I think Twitter was up in arms about, which is a lot of makeup companies and like beauty companies. Is like the child labor with Rihanna's thing, Fenty Beauty thing. It's just like there's certain things you just already know. You kind of just okay, well,
Yeah,
that's
but-
every single one.
Okay, but what's ethically? Well, let's define ethically. An ethical billionaire. Let's define ethical. What's ethical?
I feel like I don't know, for
He
me-
don't think there is one.
Now, it sounds obvious until we start getting into the examples of who we think is ethical. Then you'll be like, well, dang, well, where's the line getting drawn?
Yeah, I mean, ethical for me, I mean, how do I define that? For me, it's just like, is it morally right? Like, there's certain things that just are morally wrong. Like, if you got child labor and you're not really paying those people, and you got people that you're exploiting, like,
Is it morally right if that's the norm in the country?
no,
I agree.
And you know,
absolutely not.
all right, look,
I'm just
In my
asking the
opinion,
question.
absolutely not.
I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna be devil's advocate here.
I'm definitely
and I'm
being
gonna play
devil.
on the side of him right now. And now this is gonna be some Neo shit. But
Hey, yo, Neil's in the building, baby. You see the
so
glasses.
anybody who needs
Take the
disclaimers
blue
for their
pill instead,
social
please.
media,
Take the blue
anybody,
pill.
yeah, anybody who
I
fucking
don't need the
needs a
red pill.
disclaimer, hey, Jay, hey, y'all might want to get out of this car.
Hey,
Well, I'm
yo,
about to go right now.
Listen, Ash is driving in a different car beside me.
I'm a
He may
guest.
branch
Let's get the
off.
disclaimer going.
He
I
may
am a
branch
guest.
off.
I'm in the back seat, fake sleep like this.
I am a guest.
All right. Well, look, I'm a big
I ain't part
believer.
of it.
I'm a big believer. I'm just gonna get straight to it. I'm a big believer, so we keep it moving. I'm a big believer that when there is a thing in this world where you can't have one thing without the other, that's another thing of the energy thing. Meaning that to have abundance, there has to be lack. And I know people are like, "What?" But I really do feel like for like every value on one side, there's an equal value on the other.
Okay.
And I think that's what creates the balance of the world. That's what makes the world that's what the duality thing is that there is a balance, meaning that if we're a place to where you can have a full plate of food and throw it away because you're not hungry, there's gonna be a place where they don't have anything.
Okay.
And then if we want iPhones in a hurry for the season, there's gonna be little kids jumping out of factories to make them. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
It
But
makes sense.
it ain't.
Right.
But it makes sense. But
It
does it
ain't
make
right.
it ethical?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it could be a reality. Like, yeah, of course. Yeah, in order to have this
Yeah.
needs to happen.
This has to
That
happen,
does
right,
not make
correct.
that like okay. That's just that doesn't mean that.
But it's like
is
this.
right.
It's like this. It's like this. Okay, well, how about this? It's like this. I will speak to the business owner. I think me and you kind of had an off the record conversation. The business owner of a lot of these companies, I don't think their vision is like, hey, I'm gonna make this company and I'm gonna have like little kids like build these products.
I would hope.
I feel that the initial. I hope. I'm gonna preface it with hope. I just feel that they're just trying to gap a problem. Companies become big and they become their own self-working mechanism with boards and people who are looking for returns, and it becomes this money entity thing, right? Yeah. And it's bigger than your idea at that point. Yeah. And so for them, everything's about margin. And then now, let's just say I'm the founder. But with these companies, you're not just a founder. You have a board. You have board of directors. You have investors. You have all kind of people you got to answer to. You're not just by yourself. If you have some, I guess, idea or something that affects the whole world. Is that fair to say? Okay. You're not going to just be one person in a room and come up with this idea that has an imprint on the entire globe, right? Without help. Whether it be from financiers, whether it be from a board, whether it be other people, different fractions of your business being spread out across the world, which it starts to become a thing where, let's just say I am like the nicest guy ever. And I create this business and I love this business. This business is my baby. But obviously this business is like a mature and adult now. Hell, that business can literally low-key fire me. All right. And that's the position a lot of these guys end up in, to where they're answering to boards, answering anything. And I think that the soulless thing in the company is the company, because it is soulless, meaning that it just is a mechanism. It is a mechanism for generating something at certain values, and how it runs and how it goes. There are going to be people who lose jobs, and people who get added jobs. There are going to be ways to cut this spending to do this and do that. And obviously, anytime you do anything in life, there's going to be one. I don't care what you do. I can be a humanitarian. And if I come up and all I got is $100 in my pocket, right? And I'm walking down, let's say, Skid Row in LA, and I give out, and I'm at the end of my $100, there's still like 100 more people down there who didn't get anything. And so then now it's like, fuck. All right, well, I gave out all the money I got. And now they all coming and begging me because I just gave the money to these people. So what I'm trying to tell you is that sometimes you just can't make everybody happy in this world.
I feel you. I'm going to jump in and say this. Because, like, I'm playing clearly a devil's advocate in what we're talking about.
Yeah, this isn't the God advocate here. This is devil advocate.
So, but there's always a little bit of reason in what I'm saying. So I'm going to say this. Based it on jumping off, not literally jumping off of what you said, but talking in the region of what you said, because I'm in a different car. I would say this. I think that companies, first off, companies do not understand what all their subs and subs of subs are doing. They do not know if they're doing something ethically or not, non-ethically or ethically, right? They have no purview of that, right? So, for example, let's say you said Rihanna Fendi, right?
Fendi, yeah.
She don't know. She might visit the factory.
She's the face, by the way. She don't make that shit.
Well, okay. Well,
we'll just exclude her. I mean, you know what I mean? Let's say like Elon Musk or somebody who's like really in charge of their company.
I'm just using, it could be anyone. To me, it's the same. It's the same thing, right? Because I'm using an example of someone who's in a position who may have a company. It could be Elon Musk. It could be Rihanna with Fendi. It could be anyone, right? But the point is, when you go visit that factory, right? You're visiting a sub. They don't own that factory, right? More than not, they don't own it. More than not, they don't own it. And they're visiting it, right? They're going to see whatever they want, whatever the factory wants to show them, right? So they may go there and they may show like people that's like making their stuff that's totally not kids, right? They leave and go back home. They have no purview of kids actually making their stuff, right? You know what I mean? It doesn't make it right. I'm not saying it does. It doesn't make it right. But that purview is what I think starts to shape the idea of, in the mind of the person who built the business, they may be like, I'm ethically, I've built $1 billion ethically, right? I've made it ethically for my purview, right? And someone may be like, well, you know what? When we go check out your sub, they got kids, you know what I'm saying, making some of your shoes or whatever your product in the factory, right? But at what point does that control lie with the person who made the money? Because if I went to another company and said, make something for me, and they do something crazy that I don't know anything about, right? Is my ethics in question, or is the company's ethics in question?
Once you know and you're aware of it, do you not have that responsibility?
Boom.
Of doing what?
of changing.
Finish the question.
Of changing that.
Or even disassociating yourself
Because
with
you
the
might not
company.
know,
Okay.
and that's fair. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
I had no idea. That's fair. Okay, but now that you know, now that you're aware, what now?
Okay.
It's like, oh, it wasn't
Nah.
me. It was
no. I'm with you. At that point, you should state what happened, right? And you should make a decision whether you want to cut ties or force them to change their ways, wherever the case may be, right? But at that point, all that money up that you made up to that point was ethical.
Was it ethical? No, just because you didn't know it doesn't mean it wasn't happening.
Yeah, but my point was, I guess my point in illustrating was, right? No one truthfully knows what they're doing is 100% ethical.
Yeah, but we're not talking about just the person. Like the question is, can there be an ethical billionaire? And it's not just the
Well,
individual
billionaire.
to have, a billionaire, but to have $1 billion, that's a system.
Okay, well, there's two things.
You're not going to get $1 billion without having a system in place.
Well, let me put it like this, right? If we're talking about the person, if we're saying can a company ethically make $1 billion, that's one thing. If we're saying can a person ethically make $1 billion, that's another thing. Because like my thing is this: the ways that the amount of information a company knows. Again, a company, we're talking about organization, right? Is different than what maybe one person may know, right? So, like for example, if I go and I work my job and I make $60,000 a year, right? You know what I mean? I may feel like I ethically made that $60,000 every single year, right? Because I go in and do my job and I do everything's good. I do all the ethical things I feel like it's ethical. We're not going to go down the line of what's actually ethical, but we're going to ignore that for a second. But I do all the things I feel like I need to do, right? At the end of the day, I ethically made that $60,000 a year. If my company starts doing something crazy that I knew nothing about, does that put in question my ethics or their ethics? Right. And at that point, you're judging an organization versus a person. I know it's like, you're making this more complicated, but that's the realness of when you start diving into it.
I mean, at a certain point are you going to separate yourself from the company?
You have to. Because if you work there, you don't own it.
And once you do, and if you have to separate it and you get rid of that,
Yeah.
you're probably not having that anymore.
What do you mean?
You're probably not going to still be a billionaire and still have $1 billion.
Of course you do. You made the money. If you made $1 billion, you're a billionaire.
Usually it's, from my knowledge, usually it's your assets and what you have. It's not, you don't actually have.
Well, okay. Well, so
from the best of my knowledge,
Oh, no,
this
that's
isn't
fair.
my field.
No, that's fair. Let's talk about. Let's open it up. Let me ask the question to y'all. Right? I think I've answered this before myself, but I want to ask to everybody else to let them talk because I've been talking a lot back and forth for Ballad. If do you have to have assets to become a billionaire?
No.
Thomas is looking at.
You're gonna have assets if you're a billionaire. You don't
like-
have to have them.
He was like, "Should I get in the car with him or not?"
No, but honestly,
No, I'm thinking about the question, though.
Well,
I
think
mean-
about the guy who just won the lottery.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's like 1.9 billion, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he just won that shit from buying a lottery ticket. That's not an
Facts.
asset, you know.
That's fair.
Facts.
So I don't think technically you have to have assets,
But
but
you're living in an
I
apartment,
guess
though, now?
I guess
You know what I'm
to
saying? You got a
speak
house.
to also to kind of deep dive back into what we were talking about as well. I would say that it got my brain thinking,
Yeah.
and I got these glasses on, so it's hard to make me think. I said, "Well, damn,
Let's go, Neo.
if I'm gonna criticize a billionaire, damn, I got an iPhone. Little kids and I straight know this shit. Like I know, I have seen specials like on factories about like how they're produced.
Yeah.
And I still own one,
And they're still producing them.
and they still produce them.
Yeah.
But I own one. So am I just as guilty as the corporation? Because that's exactly my point.
I don't
Thomas.
think you're just as guilty, but you're not free of guilt.
I'm not free of guilt.
Well-
correct? I'm
well-
not a guilt-free person.
Well. Let's look at
Trickles
this.
down, there's layers.
Let's look at this. Right. The product's already made.
That doesn't.
Jay.
No.
But if I don't align with how it was made,
I agree.
That's like this, man. If you don't like the way some producer makes bacon,
Of course.
you don't have to purchase their bacon.
I agree.
You purchase somebody else's bacon,
I agree.
I hate
who's
that.
ethical.
Right.
But
And I bite into his nose.
listen. But wait, yo, it's too funny. Listen, it's funny. I'm playing devil's advocate for a reason. We're talking ethics. I feel like ethics is so subjective, man. I just feel like the whole ethical thing is subjective. Now, I'm not saying I don't have my own ethics. I do. right? But I feel like when you start trying to marry up your ethics versus someone else's ethics, you're gonna see gaps.
I think the best ethic thing is what we talked about earlier. I just think you disclose what's going on. So if I'm Apple, I'm like, yeah, like little kids like jump out the windows and shit. Y'all still want an iPhone?
Yeah, but here's the thing: did Apple know that though? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they fucking know that shit.
You think so?
Yes.
That should do their due diligence and
listen.
their research. To
No,
know
bro.
That shit.
When
If
they went to,
didn't,
They gotta know who they fucking with.
No,
If
no,
they
they know.
didn't, then
they know now.
Then they know now, right?
They know now.
and they did stop.
They didn't know. They didn't know now.
And did it
And
stop?
guess what? They're gonna still produce some
'Cause it
motherfuckers. They
didn't
need them
ma- 'cause
every
it did-
goddamn
it
phone.
didn't
Yeah, but
matter.
listen. Let's go down this line, right? Let's say they found out, right? Foxconn, which is if you don't know who Foxconn is, then you don't know how your iPhone's been made. Foxconn produces. No, sorry, we're not going down that line. Foxconn made the Apple, or Foxconn's like, all right, cool. We use some kids, cool. And I'm not saying Foxconn does use kids. I'm not gonna get into all that. I'm using them as a hypothetical example, so people don't try to nail me to a wall. Foxconn, it comes out that Apple has child labor, is using child labor in their manufacturing of their phones. Foxconn is their manufacturer, right? And Apple goes and say, hey, look, you got just child labor stuff. What's going on? And they're like, hey, look, man, like I don't know. We'll check. We'll make sure. And then they come back and say, well, we did an investigation and we found some stuff. We got rid of all of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a done deal. It's done. It's over with, right? You know what I'm saying? So Apple's like, are you sure? Like, yeah, you know what? Here's the sales approvals. Here's video footage. Here's whatever you need. It's done, data. They got some person running the building saying, hey, stop, children. You can't make this phone no more. Get out. You know what I'm saying? We're saving you. They get all that, right? And I'm not making light of it. I'm just telling you. They go through the process of providing all this stuff, right? All right. So Apple goes, all right, cool. All right. Well, since you took care of it, we'll announce to the world, hey, look, our distributor took care of the things that I had the problem with, and we're good to move on, right? At that point, is Apple now ethical again?
No. Because they know goddamn well with the margin that they give whoever these companies are, for them to produce at the same rate, at the same price points, because obviously we cut out child labor, maybe that fucks up the wage thing, right? Now we're talking about adults instead of like little kids. And then let's talk about the work hours that are just like, I guess, modern day slavery, meaning that they have the nets out there, which everybody's heard these stories and they're fucking real. They have nets outside of the thing because if a person tries to commit suicide, they catch them on the net and they drag them back into the factory.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so, yes. And so these are all practices that happen. So now if you come back in and you're like, okay, yeah, we have a seal of approval at our factory and all this shit. I'm just like, okay, cool. But I know this is going to change my price. So what's the new price? Right. Because I know we got to like take better care of the employee.
But, okay, we go down this line. They say, price didn't change.
Exactly. So I know goddamn well their practices didn't change because the people at the top, why would they take a fucking, if I'm running a sweatshop and I'm living in countries, I don't give a fuck, okay? Like,
okay.
Why am I taking a profit loss?
But let's say in a perfect world,
they did that.
They did that and prices didn't change. They're only ethical if they continue to make that the standard. Because it can't be, I did it once.
Okay, but I'm with you.
I did it once. Oh, that happened again 5 years ago? Oh, my bad. I didn't. You have to continue to make sure that happened.
No, you got to keep somebody there, right?
We pleased them. All right, cool. Let's get everything back to normal.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Doesn't change anything.
Let me ask you this. All right, cool. The outfits we got on today, right? All right. Do you know if they were ethically made or not?
Dude, listen, man. I probably got so much blood on me.
I can tell you right now.
Ballad, no.
I know. Oh, I know.
Do you?
I can tell you right now, this probably isn't ethical.
Okay.
These pants are probably not ethical because they're from Shein.
Okay.
And I've already heard a lot of shit about them.
All right.
So I could tell you that. Everything else, I don't know.
So why aren't? And I'm not trying to nail you to the cross. I'm just.
Why am I wearing it?
Yeah. Well, why?
I found out after I bought them.
Okay. So you're gonna burn it now?
No, I'm not gonna burn it now. I spent money on it. Listen. I spent money on it.
Right. That brings me to my point.
Money.
Right.
Blood money.
I spent money on it.
Ballad has blood money.
And it doesn't make it right. It doesn't mean like, okay, cool. It doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's not my responsibility.
Okay, but this is my point, right? And this is my point. We'll go back full circle with it. My point is this. I think ethics, I'm not saying ethics don't matter, but I think ethics is a very it's a very shaky ground to be on, depending on where you're standing. Because I think everyone is at a certain level. Ash said, like he said, he was like, "Hey man, listen, if they came back with a seal of proof and the price was still the same, hey, something don't smell right. It's, man, y'all's probably still doing the same thing." And they might be. I'm not saying Foxhound or nothing like that, but in this hypothetical situation, that person may be still doing the same thing, right? But at the same time, right, as a consumer, we still buy Apple, like Ash said, or Neil said. We still buy Apple products, right?
Yeah.
And we don't know if it's ethical, if they're ethically being made or not, right? But we're buying it because at some point they told us, hey, you know what? Everything's good now.
But if the system is unethical, how can you expect like us to be above that? We can't be above the system. We have to change the system. If the system doesn't change, you can't be mad at me. I'm not saying that you are, but you can't be mad at me like, oh, okay, you bought it and that it was made unethically.
But you got power in the system though.
If I'm the creator, but I don't really have that much power
Wait,
in the
did
system.
you-
Me
pause.
not buying these pants.
Did you purchase
does not,
that?
I did, but me not purchasing this is not going to change that.
It
Somebody
will.
Else will purchase
No, it
it.
will.
It will
won't
not.
personally.
He holds
It
people
will.
accountable. He
It
holds
will
people
not.
accountable. You hear
Listen,
me?
if 20 people, okay, let me tell you this. Let me tell you
It's
the power
not going to change.
purchase. Okay, Ash. Okay.
Well, they
It's like
lost.
saying
They
it's like
lost
saying
50
it's like
bucks.
saying we're gonna save the planet. Here's these paper straws. That's not changing
Okay,
anything.
Neil.
That's not
Tough.
changing
Neil.
anything.
Neil.
It's the company making
Tell
the
my
bottled
brother
waters.
Ballad. And I'm not
everything
trying to-
else, it's not changing.
I feel
anything.
you. I'm not trying to get on ballot, but I feel like Neil was gonna agree with me on this. That's why I had an outreach of my hand. Neil, explain to my brother Ballad how purchasing power is very important.
How what?
Purchasing
Oh,
power.
purchasing power is everything.
Right. What does it start with?
Well, it starts with the consumer for sure. Like, so if we stop buying, the company makes adjustments.
All right then.
And how
It ships to market.
how many of us need to stop buying?
Everybody.
But
This is like voting.
We need to be aligned.
How
But it
realistic?
starts with what?
How,
It starts
with
how
one.
realistic
come on
is
now.
that?
Hold on, say that again.
It starts with one, and
Yes,
then honestly, how about this?
Let's go.
I'll be
Come,
fair.
let's
I'll be fair.
let's be for
I'll be
real.
fair.
We about to
For real.
boycott them
I'll be
pants,
fair.
Ballad.
Hey,
Let's
hey,
be for real.
I'll be fair. I'll be fair. I'll be
Let's
fair.
be for real.
Ballad, I'm gonna be fair. I'm gonna be
Pants.
fair.
Come on.
I don't
Ballad,
like
I'ma be
corduroy
fair.
have
anyway.
to come together.
Ballad.
Like,
I'ma be
let's be
fair.
for real.
All right,
I'm
one
gonna be
mic.
fair that we have to just make some kind of profit margin difference. I'm not saying the majority have to stop, but there needs to be, like he said, I mean, which I have to go back to his side, is that there does need to be a nice size to where it actually makes some kind of marginal difference in their profits to where they can actually see it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Obviously, one human being taking a stance. Yeah, you sleep better at night, but does it really do anything about the kids that are fucking getting whipped and making jeans? No.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
but you can go out there and fight. You can go out there and put ads up. You can go out there and put flyers up.
it's not enough.
Come on, man. Listen, how do you start a movement?
That's how you start it. You can start the movement.
Yeah.
You can try to start the movement,
If you-
but it's not enough.
If you feel ethically
Because
obligated.
it takes a lot to change a system.
Of course.
Yeah.
It always do.
Yeah, but if you're going to put the onus on... Come on now.
I think Ballad's saying if it could happen like y'all saying, it would have already happened.
Well, Matrix
what I'm saying?
Ash is saying y'all both right. I just feel
Let's
like
go.
it goes back to it just goes back to I'm being real because honestly it goes back to the same thing I said. If there is a person who has abundance, there's gonna be a person in lack. And that's just the nature of this world.
Yeah.
So for everything that for every good, there's an equal and opposite negative, and vice versa. So for every negative, there's some good that's going to equal it out.
Okay.
And that's how we keep this balance, I feel like, in this place, which we'll talk about simulation theory another day. But I will say that, but that's what kind of leads
this
into
Neo.
me being a simulation because everything kind of has to equal out. It's ones and zeros. It's day and night. It's duality. It's left or right. It's abundant, non-abundant. And that's it. And there really is no difference. Like, and I feel like you have to have one to have the other. And that they have to have good to have the bad. And you gotta have poor people to have rich people. And you gotta have and honestly, if we were all rich, nobody would know they were rich.
Like I feel you. But
nobody would know they were even abundant. Nobody would know unless you could look across the street and see a motherfucker sleeping in a bag. You're like, damn, man, I'm lucky. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying, but they go down your path and to fully hear what you're saying.
Not to be insensitive, by
No,
the way.
no. We're all talking hypotheticals.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily talking one to one. We're musing, man. We're musing. So to go down your path, someone, if they went down your train of thought, they would have to agree that, hey, look, this world is made up of ethical and non-ethical stuff.
Absolutely. And the equal, well,
And
one, you can't have the other.
And I have to be okay with the fact that to enjoy my ethical stuff, I'm gonna have to go about some non-ethical things.
Or vice
So-
versa, Jay. It has to be like this. It goes down to this because if we want to hold those guys accountable, they can turn the mic on to them and be like, did y'all buy the shit?
Look, of
Did
course.
y'all have the information?
No, of course.
Okay, the reason why y'all coming on me is because you got the information.
And that's why I was.
And so therefore, y'all just as dirty as me.
And that's the devil
See, they say,
advocate I
did
was
you
playing.
take the money? Did you take the money?
Let's go.
If the money, follow the money. Whoever is complicit in a crime got paid.
Okay, so my point is this though.
So we all complicit.
All right. Okay, let's.
We're all on a RICO right now for fucking being unethical.
I'm asking these Ricos, man. He's been using Rico for the past 5 episodes. Ricos. Conspiracy.
Hey,
To the
we-
best
hey,
of my
we on a-
power,
hey,
to the
we
best
on
of
a-
my power,
we on
all
a-
I
we
could
on a-
do is it's like, oh, now that I know, I'm not.
I'll try to do better,
spend-
sir.
Yeah, I'm not spending. I
Not
have
spending-
plans to spend a lot more money than what I'm like.
You're
no,
not spending
I can't do
additional,
that.
right?
No, I can't do that.
Okay,
you know
but-
it doesn't feel. But that's me. Like
But-
I can't do that.
but
I
here's
know it's
my-
not going to change anything.
Okay.
But for me, it makes me feel better that I'm not supporting something that I know.
And for what Ballad
dirty.
does, it's going to create some kind. In every action,
will.
there's an equal and opposite
No,
reaction.
I'm with you. I'm following
Laws
that.
of the universe, guys.
I'm following you. But my thing is this though, right? And this is where I was gonna dive a little bit. I'll just dive a little bit into this. I'll simply say this. Devil's advocate again. When it comes to ethics, like I said, everyone has a different idea of what ethics means, right? So if I fly to Japan and I look at the ethics generally within their society, it will look very different from the ethics generally looked at in the stateside, right? And if I flew to China, the ethics will look generally different than the ethics everywhere else. So my point is when you really dive into this, right? We're not going to dive all the way, but if you really dive into, you start to see that all we're really doing at all points of time is marrying up ethics against ethics and saying we're telling people hey, look, my ethics trumps your ethics, so you have to adhere to my ethics in order for me to purchase from you. Because my ethics matter more than yours.
And that sounds unethical.
So you saying folks in China they don't give a fuck about child labor?
Well, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, yo, you sound like my sister right now, bro. Yo, he just came off the top with the trap, bro. What the world? I'm not saying that.
So what you're saying?
I am not saying that. I'm not in that car. Not saying that.
I understand.
Yeah.
we adhere to different ethics.
Yeah, I'm
But
just
there's-
showing the weakness. I'm showcasing the weakness of just
But
simply
usually there's a baseline.
sticking to ethics.
Usually there's some sort of, it's like, all right,
Is there?
a lot of times there's things that we can all look and be like, yeah, no, we know that's wrong. And it's not just like, oh, here, we know that's wrong.
Okay.
On a majority scale. And not like, because obviously there will be some that's like, no, there's nothing wrong with
Okay.
that. But on a majority scale, it's like, yeah, like for instance, killing somebody. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and not like, oh, you killed them because they stole, no, just flat out murder. No
Yeah.
cause, no reason, no thing.
Yeah.
Majority of people are going to be like, yeah, that's wrong.
Oh, that's wrong.
Majority
That's
are going to
wrong.
be like, that's wrong, you know, and that's
Child
like
labor's
that's a
wrong, by the
that's a
way.
baseline, you know. It's like, oh, that's a baseline. Okay, cool. Just because you believe it's not, it's not make it like
No, yeah, but okay. Again, I'm just highlighting.
it's
the,
gonna it's gonna differ. It's gonna be different depending
Yeah.
on where you are, you know, culturally and all these other things. But there are
yeah.
baselines. There are things that we just like. We know that's wrong.
Look, I'm with
There's
you.
no ands and for buts. That is wrong.
I'm with you. I think it doesn't change the fact that that when you start talking down the path of being ethical, right? It's very fragile. The further you go down that path, the more fragile it gets, right? Because then you're standing on a line and you're like, wait a minute. So somewhere in your culture you feel like this is okay? Well, dang. Well, why does my culture say this is not okay, right? And I'm not using the example of child labor because I don't think child labor is good. I don't think killing people are good, right? It's good. But what my point is, when you go down, generally speaking, when you go down the line of ethics, right? that's where I think it gets more fragile.
Yeah, I mean that's why we have. Yeah.
Yeah. So we should throw it all away. Buy whatever you want. No, I'm saying.
Hold on.
Well, I think $1
stop.
billion company can afford to pay a kid a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, one less what do you call it? One less person on the board.
Let me ask you
Pay out
this.
some salaries. You know
I
what
agree.
mean?
Let me ask you this: do you think we should have the same that same outlook when it comes to relationships, ethics?
Like personal relationships? You talking about like husband and wife type relationships?
Yeah, like relationship with who you fancy.
Like be ethical. Being ethical.
Yeah.
I think you should be ethical in everything you do.
Look, I heard
Well,
you.
I think it just goes back into what I just said. I just think everybody's living in existence. I feel like for every good, there's going to be equal and opposite bad. And so my best thing that I've observed is that the way forward in life is honesty. No matter if the honesty, no matter
It's
if
the
truth
easiest way too.
No,
bro.
and check this out. No matter if that shit's like horrific and make a person want to throw up, at least you told them. Because then at that point, that person can never look at you and be like, you know what, that motherfucker duped me. No, he told me the fucking truth. I just didn't agree with what the fuck he did.
Yeah.
In the greater scheme of things, it's
just the easy. It's an easy
easier way.
answer. It's
right
an easy
now, it
answer
might not feel like it. Like,
but I
ooh,
feel like that's the easy answer to ethics.
Yeah.
Meaning that, okay, if my country, like, look, man, in my country, man, like, if you 5 years old, you can work. I'm sorry. Yeah, we use them there.
Okay.
Now it's up to Apple to fucking be like, cool. Now, if they like cool, they are complicit partners. I'm not hiding shit from y'all. I'm telling y'all how it go down. Yes, we make these motherfuckers work 60, 70-hour work weeks. We have nets outside, and it keeps people, we don't want them to die. So then we grab their body and then we put them back on the line. So
That's
that
crazy,
so that we meet y'all requirements for the fall, because you guys have to drop a new iPhone every fall. This is the same fucking phone, by the way. And I'm getting tired, Apple.
Hey,
but
it's Neo talking.
But anyway,
But you buying it.
You're making me feel really bad about purchasing one. It's on the way. It's being shipped.
Hey,
I got an
right now.
Android.
well, I'm sure it has a
Are
good
they doing
camera.
child labor making them Android?
Hey,
Samsung?
Ballad, I'm sure the camera's amazing.
Worst, brother.
Is it?
Hey, I think the camera is just flawless.
It better be.
It better be, goddammit.
expensive.
With all those kids and people diving off the shit, this better be a cold ass phone.
See, that's jacked up. That's jacked up, brother.
Fucked up.
That's jacked up.
And guys, man, it's called,
I kind of don't want
I'm
it.
trying to make light of a really dark
Who
situation.
wants
Hey,
a new phone?
Hold on, Ballad.
was throwing this
Ballad,
phone out.
I want to see you return that phone, brother.
Yeah, it's time.
He about to get one of them jitterbugs at the
No.
mofo.
I want
We're gonna
to
have Go phones here.
I'm off the grid.
Hey, we're gonna like fuck online.
Hey, yo.
I ain't got the capabilities no more,
I'm
guys.
off
Why
everything.
about keep
I'm
going
off
to the
the
gas
grid.
station, buy them burner phones?
Oh, facts. No. He's sending snail mail. He doing snail mail,
Morse
bro.
code.
No, yeah, absolutely. I don't even want to know. And honestly, that's what the guy who made the virus shit, that's what he was living off the grid. Norton made the virus.
Antivirus.
Oh,
Yeah, the antivirus.
Oh,
You know
okay.
my guy who's like living like a cowboy and he's like off the grid. I think he got killed though, but
Somebody,
Oh,
allegedly.
really? He got killed?
I
somebody
think
pointed him on the
so.
grid.
Or is he
Somebody found his
alive?
grid.
Hey, man.
We'll have to fact check that, by the way.
Hey,
but
listen.
I almost want to say he might have passed away. But anyway, either way, go up. McAfee.
Oh, yeah.
John McAfee,
Yeah.
I think he might have passed away. I'm not sure. But either way it goes is that he even said it, like, he's like, I created a lot of this shit, and I'm telling you that there's absolutely no way not to be connected unless you're disconnected. And even when you're disconnected, you're still probably low-key connected. And so really all you can do is just go out and
You better
just
go in the cave.
Yeah,
You better go live in the cave.
that's it. There ain't really nothing you can do. It's
Live
too
in that
far
cave.
gone, guys. It's gone. And honestly, like I just feel like, yeah, it sucks that people have to do certain things to acquire certain things and vice versa. And then it sucks that we actually buy it and actually have information and all that. I just think we're all guilty. And that's what it really comes down to being. We are the modern Babylon.
All right, so
We're the gluttonous nation.
We're making our listeners
it
feel
sucks that
bad.
we
Yeah, I
don't
know.
have-
We got to end this on a good note, bro.
we don't have like
Humanity, y'all suck.
much of a choice for
We
certain
don't.
things.
I
'Cause
mean,
it's like you want to be ethical?
y'all
Okay, you got to.
suck.
What do you have
Go
left?
live in the forest.
Yeah, what do you have left?
Hey,
You know
but
what I
listen.
mean? And is that a real viable choice, or that's an illusion of choice? All right, you don't want that. You have to do,
So no kid's not a viable choice.
huh?
I just think.
You said no what?
No kid.
No kid.
No kid. The phone.
Is it a viable choice? Do they
Man,
still
we
make
don't know
phones?
how they're made.
They do.
They
We
still
don't know
got
how they're
phones?
made.
Yes.
We don't know how they're made, Jay.
We
It's
don't.
probably.
We don't know how they're made.
We don't. But
What if they in
again,
the factory?
again, if
But I mean,
if you go down the path of ethical, it's very fragile. The further you go down.
yes, it is. But still, when you're at the top, it's not as fragile.
You use the snail mail now. What about USPS? How ethical are they?
Is those snails doing something? Hold on, wait.
Right.
Is those snails doing something?
How was it made, Thomas?
Who in there sorting that mail, yo? Kids in there sorting the mail.
Like, that snail on snail crime, brother. I'm being real.
All right.
No, but honestly, to be real, I just think if we want to really break down the ethics,
Let's go.
I think ethics is just honesty.
Yeah,
That's
part
it.
of ethics. Is
I
honesty.
don't think there's a true ethic because of cultural differences and different outlooks, different places of the world. They live life differently. They see things differently. So just to make it very easy, just tell me how you doing it,
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that.
and then I gotta agree with it.
Yeah,
No,
I,
well, you don't
Or
got
not.
to.
Or
You
not.
can
No,
decide.
no,
Yeah.
well, I can
Yeah.
decide.
You have
It's-
the- you have the choice.
Thank you. I have the choice.
You have the
Correct.
choice. I agree with the honesty bit because yeah, it's like you might not agree with it. You might not be like, all right, I don't get down with that, but I have been honest.
Do you know what they
you
say?
know exactly
You know
what's
what they
going on.
say?
You have the freedom to be like, yeah, I'm down with this. Okay, I'm with it, or nah, that's not for
I
me.
think honestly, even with pimps, even with everybody, they always say, "Dog, just be honest. Just tell the motherfucking girl what you fucking trying to do." And you'll be surprised. They could be, I'm in or I'm out.
Man.
And then some girls will be like, "Fuck it, I'm in."
How do we always get on some pimp shit?
We do. Listen, because it's Neo, bro.
Oh,
Hey,
we
we're pimping the
always
world, baby.
get
We're pimping the
there.
Matrix.
No, we
All
not.
over the world.
We're not.
Area codes. Area codes.
once again,
I am not in that car. I'm not in that car. I
I
do
am
not
just a
believe in
guest
pimping.
here. The views on this podcast are not mine.
Hey.
unless I specifically
We
said
are.
it.
This would be time for the plug.
We
Be
are
your
all
OnlyFans
individuals.
Yeah,
All
well,
views are not
guys,
the
I
same.
mean,
I'm a guest.
manager. It always goes back to
if
that.
you guys do like the pee I'm putting down on here, I do offer management services.
I do
There
not.
it is.
There you go. I was waiting for the manager services. Yeah, but Ballad, by the way, yeah, I'm saying we talked about it before. If we're gonna end, but if not if legally, the legal version of being a manager for someone on what was it?
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans. That's like the legal version of a pimp.
To the best of my knowledge, I laugh because probably.
See?
Probably.
See?
Probably.
You ain't lying.
I don't have enough information
honestly,
to be
guys,
like, yeah,
that
but
doesn't-
probably.
but check this out though.
It's all
Because
speculation.
I've heard,
But that
some, I've
just show
heard
you-
some things in group chats. I'm like, you're gonna do what now?
But
Dude,
do
that
you-
sounds like a pimp.
But do you show?
What do you mean you're about to get some girl? I'm like, oh,
But that-
nah,
but check
this
this
is
out, though.
all
He's all
Check this
caught
out.
in the moment.
But do you see how just wording something
Yeah.
Makes it sound like it
Changes everything.
It's horrible.
I always remember, man, context is
He's
everything,
not a
guys.
pimp. He's a manager.
Life is life is a stage, guys. Look, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna
Manager,
help me
hold on,
apart.
wait. Our manager name slipped back. That's all I gotta say.
Listen. Life is a stage. Life is a stage. So what role do y'all want to play in it?
Let's go.
Yeah, you right.
It's a stage.
Okay.
What role do you want to play? You guys have a choice. I just told you guys it don't matter what you do in life. You got blood on your hands.
Okay. That's your final words?
I'll leave it there.
Okay. Thomas, what's your final words?
I like the honesty thing, man. Just be honest, yo.
All right. I like that too.
There we go.
I'm going to get mine and let Ballad get his last because he's the guest. My final words is, listen, do not try to walk down the path straight and narrow of ethical because you will find yourself on a very, very shaky ground. Stick to honesty. Stick to the things that you care about. But do not be I wouldn't position anyone to be a champion of something black and white because that gets very, very, very tricky the further you go down it. So stick to the things you believe in. Stick to the rivers you know. And just don't try to champion something you don't really fully understand.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think as long as, we're honest, we do things that align with ourselves and what we want, like our core beliefs, and stick to that as best as we can. And again, anybody that we involve in our world, we make sure that not only we're being honest, we're making sure that we're giving them a choice and not taking choices away from them. I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hey, Ballad for president. Let's go, man.
Hey, man, thanks for coming, dog.
Hey, for real.
coming on
Thank
the
y'all
show.
for having
Real
me.
talk.
Hey, we might have you on another episode. Who knows?
Yeah.
Nah,
If you will
I'm
have
not,
us.
I'm not really a fan. I mean,
Oh,
He's like, fuck the show.
Neo here,
Listen.
Neo here, caught up in the Matrix. I don't know how y'all get that. Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I'm back, guys. I'm back.
I'm joking. This
Oh my
is-
God, what happened?
When you come back, you can't wear them,
Yeah.
them corduroys. We don't do that.
Nah. No more
We don't
Sheen.
fuck around with them.
Yeah, no more Sheen products.
Ethically,
No more
we
Sheen
know.
products.
Ethically,
Nah.
we do not
know.
promote that brand on this
No.
show.
In all
But it's been a
seriousness,
pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, look. In all seriousness, everything we talk about here, we do like for stuff like this. Seriously, we do not condone child labor. We do not condone
No.
any acts of
Crazy.
that's like hurting or putting someone in danger. We do muse on stuff, and that's really to talk about it. So what you'll hear me do at times is introduce a different idea to maybe look at it a different perspective to test our ideas of how we're thinking about it. Ash does the same thing. Neo does it. Thomas sometimes do it.
What I do?
Right?
Wasn't even-
And Ballad, he was just a guest today, so he didn't fully jump in. Thomas is like, I love you, baby.
I already said bye. I done checked out this
Hey, yo, we need that button. We need a button for Thomas to say, like, I love you, baby. I love you, baby. I'll be home. I'll be home in an hour.
Right? Just text her. Good night. I'm not too far behind you.
All right, let's go. All right, listen, we out, y'all. We
Peace.
appreciate you, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, peace.